All right, so we've got some really interesting stuff going on between Spotify, Pandora, and Apple Music, all battling it out for the music subscription space, right? Spotify, 170 million active users up and to the right, 70 million paid users, freemium model. We've got Pandora, also a freemium model, but flat to declining growth, only 7 million active users and flat 5.7 million paid users. And Apple Music running a totally different model, but growing fast with the free trial. So what's going on here? I actually think there's a really important lesson in here about freemium and how we kind of view this. So the big thing about Pandora is that they think about freemium as a monetization model. They released a study talking about how they were trying to increase friction via ads in their free tier in order to increase the conversion rate and monetization to paid users. But this is the thing. My good friend Patrick Campbell, founder, CEO of Price Intelligently, always says,
freemium is an acquisition model, not a revenue model.
And I couldn't agree with him more. So what does he mean by that? Let's talk a little bit about that. The purpose of freemium is to decrease the friction in order to enable a low friction acquisition channel, something like virality or some other method, right? It is not there as a monetization method. And so in Spotify's case, they've got this great freemium acquisition channel driving new users. And so they've taken the total opposite approach. They've tried to increase the feature, increase the engagement of their free user base, and as a result, it drives this freemium acquisition engine and also increases the engagement and retention of these free users, which over the long term produces more paying users, right? So why is Apple Music not taking the freemium approach if it's working for Spotify? Well, that's the thing. Apple already has an acquisition channel through the iTunes, through the iPhone, and all of their other devices. So they don't need the freemium model to drive acquisition. They already own an acquisition channel. And so they deploy a free trial model, which is kind of driving their growth. So let's sum it up real quick. Once again, key mistake is viewing freemium as a monetization model, not an acquisition model. And if you have a freemium model, whether it's B2C subscription or B2B SaaS, it has to be all about enabling a new acquisition method. If you've got any questions about freemium, any comments and opinions, would love to hear them in the comments.